and welcome to Flamecast. This is Todd Plutz,
And Matt Spielman.
and we're not doing video this time. You're just gonna get a background of like the logo with flames behind it, animated flames.
There you go. I mean, you can do some video, just not video of me.
Yeah.
Do some interesting video. We're not dolled up for Friday night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been like that. The last Flamecast was actually March 26th.
Oh my God. Dying flames. Embers.
So yeah, it's been a while, and
impacted by the pandemic.
well, some of that, but it's like
no, it should be the opposite. You had all the time at home, but we missed
it. But I tried to get Wes on, and he was like so busy towards the end of the school year because he's teaching, and Travis is just, you never know. And then I'd get you on, but I wanted to have more than just one person. But
yeah,
that's what we're doing anyways tonight. So
one retired hermit. I've not watched Squid Game. I understand what Squid Game is. I may switch over to Netflix at some time to watch it, but I think Mandalorian's on my rotation first because I haven't even seen that.
Oh my gosh!
Not any of it. No, don't you put spoilers on. And I'm gonna actually hover over the leave meeting. No, punch it. Yeah, no, nothing. I'm telling you, I don't. What do I do? I've been investing. We've been painting the house.
Oh,
very. It's like shh. It's the secret identity Flamecast. There's no adventure, other galaxies or anything like that. We're taking care of the house. And, the pool had a few issues. We got those worked out, and the neighborhood. We're getting off to school. Actually, we have since the Woodlands after we moved in. I might add, is the #1 city to live in the country. We've had our street of 13 houses. We were one of 4 houses that changed out of the 13 last year. And there are another 4 that changed this year. And Zillow just told me today that our house is worth 30% more than what we bought it from.
Jeez, already.
Ridiculous. And we didn't buy it the low, because Houston's diversifying, but still very much run on oil. So we could have bought in the 2s instead of the 3s, and we're in the 4s now.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's accelerating, it's still rising. Yeah, I never had that. I've never sold a house for a profit. Never been in that kind of situation. And we might still not have a profit either too, because we're going to redo the kitchen and redo the bathroom. So even as that is, it's probably break even at this point, and maybe it goes up more. It is a nice place to live. But we'll see. Yeah. So, it's all secret identity stuff. Blending in so the citizens are unaware.
Yeah, I mean, we did do some landscaping out in the front yard over a few weeks in this summer. We ended up taking out all the rock that was along the sidewalk there and in front of the house, taking it all out, adding more dirt, because we were finding out that, well, just behind me, the carpet was wet a little bit. At some
drainage
point.
Issues. That's terrible.
So I'm like, no, we need to add some more dirt in there. So we took all the rock
get the
out.
water to roll away. Roll away, water. Roll away.
Yeah, and put the dirt in there, and then all the rocks, we ended up, because when they took the rocks out, well, it was Rachel and the kids and Wade's kids, and they got a lot of dirt in there too with the rocks. So we ended up like washing all the rocks, which was kind of a pain. And then we got them all back down, and
Obviously, it took longer than planned, and it wasn't at all because you put a secret bunker underneath there. That would not be normal. So it was. We had to wash the rocks, of course. Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's the way it was. Yeah.
Why does this rock beep and have a keypad on it? You don't have one of those? It's the pet rock of the 21st century. Pet rock with keypad.
There you go. Yeah.
That is. I don't know if that's too morbid to bring up. You know, the whole Gabby Petito thing. The missing girl and the boyfriend. I can't excuse. Have you seen the video that they supposedly have a secret bunker? That there's really? A hand. Yeah, there's a video of his mom. So they're gardening. They suddenly put in some garden boxes, some above ground garden boxes, and people are and I don't think this is law enforcement. This is people have drones hovering over there, just watching their every move, which is creepy. Like, who wouldn't crack at that? But there's video, and I look at it, and you know, it's like videos of shapes on Mars or something like that, right? Because it's zoomed in, whatever. But there's a hand that comes out of the garden, and the mom hands the hand several things. You know, I mean, it's probably like played in reverse, like she's planting a plant, but it's played in reverse, so it looks like that. Who knows? But it's hard. You look at it and you go, that doesn't normally happen in a garden.
No.
That's sketchy. So much about that is sketchy. Everything they've done. And the new camper they got and they took out the weekend before he disappeared. We just suddenly wanted to go camping.
Yeah.
Well, where'd the new camper go? I can't keep track of them. I don't know.
Grief. Well, this one we were gonna. Well, I should ask you this first.
This just in. I even heard the paper.
It's only this big.
Okay.
I jotted down some notes like very quick before signing on, because I'm like, maybe you've seen some of this stuff, but you already said you didn't see like, the new Bond film.
No, I'm going. We want to.
It's very good.
It's the longest one, I believe, or second longest one, the longest of Daniel Craig's. But we actually want to go to the theater for that too. We figure matinees always were pretty deserted, and we can do that now. So we got to do that, and we got to do. I don't even know if Black Widow's still in theaters. Probably not.
I don't think so, but Black Widow is on Disney Plus now. So
well, I don't have that either because otherwise I see Mandalorian. There's another one that came out. Oh, Dune. Yeah, we got to see Dune too.
Yeah, Dune's coming up. Well, if you don't have Disney Plus, then you haven't seen What If.
No, I've seen the promos for it. That looks cool. That was some of my favorite comic books. Like Tales of the Dark Knight is all alternate stories of Batman, or was. I don't know if it's there, but I always like some comic book fans, maybe because they can't keep it straight, are very against alternate realities and all that. And of course it's a cop out when that's in the main storyline, right? And that's like the Dallas, well, he woke up, it was a dream thing. But I actually like exploring those. So I really thought that series looked good. Yeah. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Picard. I haven't seen any of that stuff.
Oh my
God. I told you, just a hermit. I've been painting. Painting, looking to get a smoker before Christmas. Well, we were driving around. Of course, we did drive around for June. Very much like our Chrysler Pacifica hybrid.
Yeah.
6-cylinder minivan that gets 56 miles a gallon.
Yeah, was it June when you came up here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
because we left like June 3rd or 4th or something like that, and then we spent the 4th of July in Fairmont, and then we kind of raced back a little earlier than we thought to surprise Julie's mom for her birthday.
Wow. Okay.
But it was 4,500 miles in a month.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
Yeah, more in the front end. The front end was a lot of driving days and then some stops, and then Minnesota was quite stopped with some day trips.
Okay.
But that doesn't excuse me back to March. I don't know. This stuff wasn't coming out. That's why. I didn't see any of that stuff either. Like I said, I still have Wonder Woman 1984 mint in box. I haven't had time to sit down and watch it yet. I really want to. I just want to see all the stores they brought back for them all.
Oh yeah.
Are they gonna have B. Dalton? Are they gonna have? They gotta have KB. I mean, all those things.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet myself.
Oh, there you go.
I'm kind of behind on the DC stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'd really like to see Zack Snyder's Justice League as well.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen that. So
new Batman will come out and you'll be like, well, we better catch up. They're going to start crossing it over to everything, so we better catch up. Unless it's its own alternate reality too.
At least I'm caught up with Marvel. So Marvel, Star Wars, Star
Trek, yeah.
Yeah. The only one
I'm actually very angry that Lowcast lost its court case because 2 days before that came out, I bought is it Streamly? Whatever. There's a DVR service for that. I'm like, football season's coming up. Maybe I'll set that up. I forget it was Streamly or something like that. 2 days I set it up and it's gone. What? It's gone.
Yeah.
So now we have YouTube TVs. Now we're paying as much as we were for cable anyway. So, well, I guess it's football season. Might get to see the Vikings because they're playing Carolina. It's kind of down here. Like that's you catch every fourth. I think there's two. There was Vikings and Cardinals was on. Yeah, that was the only one because you could do the Lions and Vikings, but that's video on demand from NFL Network, so you had to pay for that. But I've had one Vikings game.
If they're on CBS, then because I have Paramount Plus,
yeah,
I get those games. But so far there's only been the one game on CBS that the Vikings have played. So
you got Paramount Plus, Disney Plus. What else?
Just regular Hulu with advertisements. Like, whatever. Netflix. Oh, and I did get Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm. That we do have.
Yeah.
Actually, Julie's been watching Leverage. She really liked that show, and she's gone back to start. She just confessed she was watching it at night. Excuse me. So, so you're not doing the rotating thing. You're just paying them all.
No,
it's just money.
And Rachel watches a lot of the streaming stuff, and so it's like,
the wife makes you get all those.
Yeah.
Does she know how to log in to Disney Plus or Paramount Plus even?
Oh yeah, we've got it set up on the Roku where once you get into it the first time, then it's you're just in. So, but I ended up getting a free trial for Amazon Prime, and then what was it? There was something on at the time that I started getting into. So I'm like, well, I think I'll keep it then, and because then I started watching The Boys and Invincible, and
Invincible was interesting. That was more interesting than I thought it would be because the animation style is like that. What's that Secret Agent one? Archer, kind of. But it was.
Yeah.
But I really like that. There's also Good Omen. Good Omens is really good, actually. It has David Tennant in it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but
I started that, and I was like, he's there. Let's see. That was actually very entertaining. I like that a lot. Makes you think Neil Gaiman would be a good director in general, not just his stuff. Did he direct it? I think he did.
I can't remember.
He was very involved in it. And then is it Apple or Amazon is doing Foundation? I'm really looking forward to Foundation too.
I don't know. I don't think I heard of anything about that one.
Oh, Apple Plus. Oh, you gotta get Apple Plus if you want that
then. No, I will not do that.
Actually, that was a funny thing in Ireland too. What was it? In Ireland, was it this? Yeah, Star Trek Discovery was a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Think about that as crossing the streams, because
right.
you know, they just make deals in the other countries. So it's kind of funny. Everything you think you know for a streaming service, if you travel overseas or go overseas, it's scrambled.
Yeah.
Get it. Make
right.
sure you download it locally and take it with you, because if you think you got it and you only have a few, no, you don't. They're all different. It's the same players, but the content's all different, all scrambled. I'm like, who set that up?
Yeah. That's why if I can help it, I just add to my collection over here.
Still the old fashioned way. You got to buy it. That's how I feel about music, really, though. Because we did it before we moved to Ireland. We digitized, we must have more than 600 CDs, but we digitized all that. And like, you know, if we were in college and they had just about everything and you went to start, you probably could have been even money between everything you've bought and just getting a streaming service. But now that you have it and you're missing one or something, no, just buy it. I'm not going to stream on top of that.
Well, Corey and I have been going to some of these toys and collectibles swap meets up in the cities, and I think it was the second to the last one we went to. There was a person that had the first DVD sets of like season 1, 2, and 3 of the original Star Trek. And you know, not where there's like 2 episodes per disc, or you know, that they did earlier. This was like the whole package for a season and such. And yeah, they had all 3, and I'm looking at it, it's like, oh my gosh, she only wants like $25. I'm like, geez, I wonder what condition they're. And then the lady's kind of watching me, you know, really intent on this, and she's like, I'll go 20 on it. Sold.
Jump,
like, okay.
Jump, little man, jump off the ledge. That's what I wonder about. You know, I still deep in my Star Wars stuff is my letterbox VHS. So without the all the Lucas editions, it's like, you know, I mean, letterbox VHS shrunk to letterbox is crappy. I mean, you wouldn't be able to bring it up, but there must be some purists out there to be like, oh
yeah. Well, let's do some fun Q&A here. Just to
all right. What is your quest?
Yeah. What is your favorite color? Well, for some of this, it's like I know all these answers for you. Well, at least some of them.
We would rock on the dating game if they did that.
Because, well, I made up these questions like, what, 3-4 months ago? Something like that. So even I'm going to have to think about my answers for these. I'm going to answer them too. So
you know what they are, but you could be wrong.
That's right. Okay. So the first question, and these are just random questions, and you know, not really related to anything, but okay, first of all, where did you spend the majority of your childhood years?
You know, it's interesting. It is Fairmont.
Unless we want to get more specific, like the Silver Dollar Arcade.
No, that's where I spent the most of my money. Easily, most of my money went there, right there. I mean, hot in my pocket. Hey, I better go collect some newspaper dues because I want to go to the arcade. Literally like that hand to mouth, hand to the joystick. No, but that's actually, so if we do stay here until Alex graduates, he's in first grade this year, and we were there last year, so we'll be here 13 years at least by plan. That will be the longest I've ever been in a place in my life, and it's not even like a house, because I was in 2 houses in Fairmont. In any town in my life, that will set the record, the new record.
Wow.
Because even Fairmont, so we moved to Fairmont. I started in second grade and went to graduate. So it's 10 years in Fairmont. We were in Michigan the third time. So this last time before Ireland for 12 years. That was the most. And so 13 years would be the longest. This also will be, there was some statistic, I several years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, that the average US person changes their place of residence 13 times. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. This will be my 15th time. Actually 16th time. If you count not just hotel stays, but short-term residence, because we were at a place for 6 months or something like that, or like when you're in college, right? I mean, you can rack up a lot of different places in college.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's of course Fairmont, but
the shed in the back, or in the basement, taping Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Yeah, the basement was the place to be.
It was awesome. That was sweet.
Yeah. Well, we had the pool table down there.
Yeah, in the worst case, you play pool, or if the table's on, you play ping pong. Like, that's the worst you can happen.
Yeah. And then on the other end, that was the room with all the toys, the G.I. Joe, the Star Wars, all that stuff. But yeah, the shed in the backyard, the clubhouse, that
the Eagles.
I basically took the storage shed and took everything that was inside of it and moved it to strategic places. So it was basically, you couldn't tell that it was a storage shed inside anymore.
What is all this stuff?
Okay. See, some of these questions, it was like, I have no idea. For like, say Wes, if I was asking him these, maybe Travis, because I really didn't know him until later years in high school. But who was your best friend growing up?
we had a time, right? So we met when Chris Camerath brought you to Boy Scouts, and we had a time there, and then we were gone. And I couldn't even tell you. You'd have to tell me when you were in Scouts, because I remember. I'll say, we had been estranged. We hadn't, outside of Scouts, I didn't know where you lived or anything, and we didn't go to school together in elementary school, junior high, right? This is all one. For St. John or St. Paul's. It was one, so we didn't have any reason to run across each other. And I remember walking to Queasley's room, and it was way over in the Votech room our freshman year, and like, I wonder who it'll be. And I didn't, I just wonder, my small circle of friends from the Lutheran school, from the one church school, wonder who it'll be, who I know. And like, but as soon as I saw you, I'm like, oh, Todd, how about that?
Like Matt Spielman.
So it was funny. It worked out that. How long was it since?
It might have been a year, because I think I was in Scouts for like maybe 7th grade, and maybe that was it. So I don't think I went into 8th grade for Scouts, but yeah.
It seemed like a time. It was a time that wasn't thinking about it or anything, but there was immediate recognition. So that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, other than hanging out with you, I was hanging out with Bill Maurice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I didn't really have large groups of friends. I like stuck to certain people. So if you were a friend, you're lucky.
An elite group. That's why he got voted shyest.
Yeah, probably.
In a brilliant campaign.
And now it's like, yeah, well, you look at like online friends and everything, and it's like, well, a lot of them I don't really even talk to, but but they're friends out there nonetheless. But no, but all of you listeners, you are very important to me.
Yeah, listeners are even beyond friends. That's another category.
Yeah.
What about listeners that are online friends? Square that circle.
Yeah. Well, that's even a bigger plus. So, okay. How about what is your favorite TV show, past or present?
Oh gosh, what category? You gotta give me. You gotta give me a category.
Oh my gosh. Um,
Because I do. I mean, I actually it
Soap
was
operas.
soap operas.
No.
There's nothing worse than soap. When I would be like sick, I remember getting. When did I get chicken pox? I had the weirdest case of chicken pox because I didn't itch. I had them all over my feet, the bottoms of my feet. I couldn't
Oh,
walk.
weird.
Yeah, and it was like covered. The bottoms of my feet were covered. I had a few here and there, and never needed calamine lotion or anything, but the bottoms of my feet were covered. So I was like really laid out. It wasn't like I was miserable. It's like you can't go anywhere. And just so it's like as soon as The Price is Right was over, then there was the desert because you
Yeah.
only had your three networks in PBS, and it was I don't even know what PBS would have been playing at the time, but it was like everybody at soap operas. She was like, "Please, let's get to the talk show. I want Phil Donahue, please. I love Phil Donahue. Why? Because it was the end of the soap operas. That was like third or fourth grade. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's about the time I had them too. Like
Oh,
third.
there you go. So my favorite
third
soap
grade.
opera, I don't know if it's true, is let's see, what would be
No,
one that's
you don't have to do soaps.
no, someone I just want one that's dead. One that's not still going on. Young and the Restless probably still is. Maybe
Yeah,
as
that's
the
still
world
going on.
turns. General Hospital. I think they stopped that. I love General Hospital because it's dead.
There you go.
But I do like if you said cartoons, right? So I love actually my brother surprised me one year. I didn't know it came out when the box set for Dungeons and Dragons series came out, and I didn't even know it. And he got it for me for Christmas. I'm like, oh, that was like, one of those like when you were a kid and you had the one present you really wanted, and it was the big one. So, it was a big box. You're just waiting for it, and you had to wait. And it's there, and you go nuts on it. I went nuts on that one for that year. And as an adult, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I also like, and it's harder to find is Mighty Orbots, which took a long time to come out because it was basically I don't think it was a Voltron ripoff. It may have been. It wasn't Thundercats. Anyway, one of those, all the robots come together to make the big robot. It was like a total ripoff. I mean, the stories were interesting, but the design of the big guy was a total ripoff. So it was funny because, and then you have Company X and Company Y are fighting, and eventually 30 years later, they're all owned by Saban finally. So, and then like if Saban could forgive themselves and they could put it out and someone would buy it. And I'm like, yes, as soon as it's available. So I think Mighty Orbots is definitely my favorite cartoon. Only for one season. Funny little big robot show. And a villain that sounds like this. Kind of sounds like that Inspector Gadget villain, but he was a planet, and he had a big face with like spider eyes, like a bunch of eyes and a big mouth. Umbra.
I'm trying to think what I would choose as a favorite. Well, for just generally, it'd probably be Doctor Who.
Definitely. Tom Baker, Doctor Who. Even though the spaceships don't move in a straight line, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it had to have had a guy just holding it there. I mean, that doesn't, but what, you don't have imagination?
Some of these DVDs actually have like updated.
Yeah, they fix them. No, I don't even watch that kind.
I mean,
don't watch
they have the original, but then they have the updated graphics ones as well.
There wouldn't be any controversy in Star Wars if that was the thing to do. It's not the thing to do. It is a work of art. It's like, well, Michelangelo's David, he's a little chunky over here. So I'm just going to take off a little bit. No, don't mess with it. It is what it is. Sistine Chapel. I see a smudge. Let me fix it. No, you're a clod. Just leave it. Yeah. I mean, this, and I think too, even, and I actually like the Peter Davidson ones too, but I liked and I don't remember, I don't think this is the time when Douglas Adams is writing it, but I liked like Terminus, with Nyssa and Tegan, but explaining the Big Bang, right? Where they went through, and it wasn't just that Doctor Who was consistent with itself in terms of this happened before this or whatnot, but going back to strangely explain big things happening that we in our parallel universe believe in. I really dug those stories at the time.
I just remember, you had your 30-minute block from 5:30 to 6 on PBS, and my mom was very punctual about supper.
Oh, challenge.
Sometimes it was like she was ready for people to eat like a couple minutes before 6. And it's like, no, I need to watch the end of this. I need to watch the end.
Oh, yeah.
And I would stall out as long as I could. And I might get in trouble when I get upstairs, but at least I saw the end.
Cold chicken. It's worth it. See, that's an entirely different experience than I had. My Doctor Who was like on or in contention with Saturday Night Live. You want to watch Saturday Night Live? You want to watch Doctor Who? So KTCA was it KTCA? No, I don't know. Whoever in the cities, they would play the whole thing, but it was like late Saturday night. So for me, it was like, well, maybe we won't go to early church. That'll be fine. But when I go to my grandpa's near Austin, then whatever they got was what you said. They would play just the half hours originally, and I'd be like, I'm only here for the weekend. You can't play the middle of something. They figured this out already, don't you know?
Yeah, weekdays was the 5:30 to 6. So
I never knew that existed. I mean, I knew it existed elsewhere. Never saw a single one of those. It was always late Saturday night. And I didn't know about those. To prove it. Living like a king, and you didn't even know.
I think.
Okay, who's? I got a question for you after you're done.
Okay.
A follow up.
I was going to say, when I started my first year of college, then I realized that they had Doctor Who on, it was either Friday or Saturday nights. And maybe that was just a continuation from when you watched it. And here I thought, they took them off during the weekdays and they stuck them on the weekends. Maybe, well, they might have been on the weekends the whole time.
There you go.
Okay.
Got nowhere to be Saturday night? Here you are.
Yeah.
All right. So this might be just because we watched it when we were teenagers, although you're not limited to the episodes of the teenagers. So who is the hottest Doctor companion?
From the classic series?
I'd say any. I'm inclusive. Remember, I don't mind parallel universes and all that. I'm inclusive. I like the new series too. There is, as intellectual
as Doctor
Who is, there's quite a few to choose from. Okay.
The first Romana.
Okay.
Yes.
You like your strong women. That's good.
Mary Tam, I think was her name. And
unfortunately, she's no longer with.
Yep, that's probably number 2.
And she was not only nice to look at, nice person. But I thought it was cool. I think now, did Clara ever fly the TARDIS? I think Nissa, for a long time anyway, was the only non-Time Lord person who could pilot the TARDIS. Because she had actually figured it out. She's like, oh, you do this and do this. Yeah. And like everyone else was like, oh my gosh, look at this miracle of things, and I hope I don't bump into it. She's like, oh, here. Like,
well, couldn't Adric do it too?
Well, I mean, he flew into D space. I mean,
well,
you missed the universe, Adric. It's back there.
Until you get to later on, and then you've got River Song. She can do it. So
River's very unique. Well, I know. Was she proven not to be a Time Lord? I mean, she clearly was more than just a regular being, right? Living backwards in time too.
Well, she did regenerate, so yeah.
I do have to kind of wince a little bit, like even the whole all the stuff with the Master. I enjoyed it, but I had to wince at the first step to get over that. Like, everybody's dead. No, not everybody's dead, but he's hidden in a watch, because the last episode we talked about you could hide in things, and we needed to. suddenly I'm like, it's a little forced, but it's okay. I play role-playing games, so I know, when plot says you need to move forward. So but once I was there, seeing the master argue with themselves, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Who would kill the master? Well, the master, like, that had to have been a writer's room joke. Well, the actors aren't going to play anymore, so we're going to kill him off. Who's going to kill him off? Well, he's the master. He's not going to. Only he could kill him. Well, how would that work? I know.
Yep.
Careful, spoilers. I won't tell you which one killed which one, because that was a bit of a twist, but okay.
Well, I mean, that's been a while now, so. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen Wonder Woman 1984 in either of you, so I mean, people could be behind. I don't think Julie has watched one since David Tennant. She's like, they changed him. No, I'm like, they're gonna change him. They got it. That's the shtick of the show.
Yeah, she would enjoy a lot of the more recent stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm. So. Oh yeah, she like well, no, I'll take it back. She has seen some of the ones with Jodie, because since we were in Ireland, we got to see them live. We got to see them go over to you guys. Yeah. Woo-woo. So we had like Jodie Whittaker on in a prime time slot because it was first run TV. So we did enjoy that with the Jodie Whittaker stuff.
I saw them like maybe half a day later.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure people are doing that, but I still got, it's like, oh, this is kind of like even Saturday night. Oh, this is what it's like to have Doctor Who, right? And they did not separate into half hours or something like that.
Yeah,
I would have waited if that was the case. They have enough cliffhangers between our episodes.
All right. If you could be any comic superhero, who would you be?
Does it have to be a hero?
Well, we can cut the amount in half if we just say hero. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did ask you to categorize. I don't, now if you just said favorite, I clearly have a favorite character. If you said, who do I want to be?
Right.
The Watcher? I mean, go big. Yeah. Go. I mean, I don't. Again, so many of them are. I mean, he's not a villain, really, right? I mean, he does things people don't like, but he's not. It's not. He doesn't eat planets or try to end the multiverse. So you want to be that powerful. Isn't it funny how a lot of those very powerful people are all bad?
Oh yeah.
Is that a pessimistic view of the world? Because we want to have underdogs. Like, where's the good guy? Like, well, if they put God in the Marvel universe, well then we win. Well, we can't do that, so we're gonna have all these villains, and somehow they can do all sorts of things, but they never quite win. Where's the good guys like that?
They always give their monologues and.
Yeah, monologuing. It sounds too popular nowadays to say Deadpool, but I actually, believe it or not, so I'm going through my comic book collection because I may actually sell. I probably need to sell some just for space, but I'm going to sell some. And while I don't have, let's see, I think it's X Factor 97, whatever it is. 97, 98, somewhere around there. The first Deadpool. The one before then is the first Cable. I have that one.
Oh.
The one after that is the first Domino. I have that one. I do not have the first Deadpool. But I knew Deadpool before Deadpool was cool. So welcome aboard, y'all. But when I want to be him, no, because he has a shit life. It's funny that I wouldn't mind being his friend. I wouldn't mind being the bartender watching him do all the crazy stuff. But no, it's too dangerous to be. I don't know. I always like Wolverine, but again, I don't like pain that much, even if I could regenerate. No, he just does dumb stuff.
That's true.
Professor Xavier, well, yeah, but then you get to know everything, but then you do know everything. And you're like, oh gosh, that sucks. Phoenix, well, which Phoenix? I don't want to be the Phoenix of Futures Past, where you're hunting down other mutants, but then you're powerful and you're not, and you're stuck in the water. Probably more likely a mutant than something else, because maybe they're a little more outcast.
Yeah.
But my favorite character, and I don't want to be him either because he's great. My favorite character is actually Moon Knight, and I like Moon Knight for a very long time too. And I'm very much looking forward to some Moon Knight shows going on. That'll get me to buy Disney Plus as soon as that's ready. But he may or may not be possessed by an ancient Egyptian god. You don't really know. He's Batman, but he's so crazy he dresses in white instead of black. But I mean, clearly he was made as a sort of Batman Prowl the Night character. But then only in the second series was he made kind of crazy. And I'm glad they picked up on it because the second series of Moon Knight is definitely, and I'm talking old series, I'm talking 80s series. It's the best one of the first three.
All right.
I've got a couple of the graphic novel compilations of the more recent stuff.
Okay.
But again, I don't want to be him. No. I don't know. Who did you want to be since you made the question?
Well, I would choose Green Lantern.
Green Lantern?
Yeah. I mean, it would kind of be
even with the animated, even with the animated costume,
not the animated costume, not the Ryan Reynolds one. But it would kind of be a drag being, Green Lantern for a whole sector and expecting to be the police force for that.
That's a lot. What is your commute like? I mean, come on, like I forgot my lunch back home. Dang it. Right back.
But then being able to make anything out of that ring.
Yeah.
Except
powered by your imagination,
edible, of course.
The limit of your imagination. Well, I mean, could you imagine if Deadpool was a Green Lantern?
Oh God. No, we better not.
There's a crossover. Do it. Who's been involved in both those franchises? Do it. Yeah, but it's hard. I mean, the heroes I'm interested in are certainly not all happy-go-lucky. So I don't think I want to be them.
Okay. If I open it up to villains.
Well, then you always lose. I was just playing you for that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Just playing for time. No villains. I don't know. Is there villains that get along? I always kind of liked the dynamic between Wolverine and Sabretooth. I mean, even though they were both, homicidal maniacs, was like they had a respect for each other. Mm-hmm. So they would fight and they would do stuff, and they basically knew nobody was going to be defeated, in the sense someone might win and you get tired and walk away, but no one is going to die or be permanently gone because you just regenerate.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that dynamic. Of course, I've long had an affinity for the Joker, but I'm an adult and I should say I wouldn't, so I won't. But you could attest, I've long had an affinity for the Joker.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next one here. Let's see. Who was your most memorable celebrity encounter?
I don't really specialize in celebrity encounters. My brother meets a lot of celebrities.
Oh,
and
yeah,
some of that's from his work, and some of that he and our uncle share like a mystical power where it's like, to me, a lot of sports figures, like I don't know what they look like when you see them in college or in their 20s and they're 30 years later, so they're bigger generally, and then they don't have their helmets on or they don't have equipment up, and they're like, oh, that's Bill Smithson. He was in '63. He was the center. I'm like, yeah. Who the heck? So both my brother and my uncle have a secret power. They know the secret identities of every sports character. In fact, they spent in the Final Four in Minneapolis in '92, which Michigan played in. Okay. They spent the game. They had a set of field binoculars, and they were looking up in the stands, looking at all the celebrities and figures they go through. There's a game going on, guys. There's a game. How do you know so much? You don't watch the game.
Well, I've been guilty of doing that too. When I'd go to Vikings games at the Metrodome,
yeah,
I'd be scanning the booths and seeing if I could, see anyone there. But Never did.
Can I change the question a little bit? Because I have an interesting answer. I actually have a two-part interesting answer. If you play it more as 6 degrees of separation. So who not necessarily you're related to, who's your closest or most profound celebrity relation?
Okay.
So I have a two-part answer. So a former boss of mine is from the Buffalo, New York area. I may have told you this already. I may have even said it here some time ago, which is where Reading Rainbow is from. And he was an executive producer of Reading Rainbow. So I actually have held the same daytime Emmy trophy that LeVar Burton won, that Reading Rainbow won when they went out the first time.
Awesome.
He brought in that was an interesting staff meeting. Anybody have round table items together? Here, says the boss. And those things are big. I mean, it wasn't like a clean, I can't even imagine. I'm trying to see what I have for reference. I mean, it wasn't like, a petite thing. It was there. I mean, the base is chunky. So I've held that. And then a friend of mine is an artist. And I have a lot of links for like authors and things for her, but she's friends with Bill Nye the Science Guy, is also 2 degrees of separation.
All right.
I actually there's several. LinkedIn is good for that. Now, as online friends, LinkedIn is kind of good for that, because I saw, Jerome Bettis is actually a second level contact for me. And so is Tim Tebow. I don't know them from Adam, but they accepted a connection from someone that accepted my connection, or I accepted a connection too.
Interesting.
But those are virtual role. I find it funny. That's something I look for now in my LinkedIn feed, is like the kind of the most notable one that flies by, and you're like, that person, really? I can send them a message. All right, your turn.
I hardly ever look at LinkedIn. I'm like, I get enough from everywhere else where it's like, and I'm not going to switch jobs at this point in my life. So
I'm just holding on. But me neither.
If we revert the question back to the original form.
All right. What was the original form? Oh yeah. Celebrity encounter.
Yeah.
Now, is this a paid one? Was this something at a con that you paid for an autograph session or something, or is this something you run into somebody? I'm going to take the helmet off every single Boba Fett I see at the next convention and see if it's Adam Savage.
Yeah. This wasn't at a con, but it was at Paisley Park. So you probably know who it was. Because there was 2 times that stick in my mind as just incredible experiences. And one of them was, the little concerts he would do at Paisley Park didn't have a ton of people, especially kind of later on. And I'd gone to this one, and eventually I got to be, people kind of shifted and moved and whatever, and I was like right by the stage, and they had it sectioned off, with your like your theater ropes and stuff like that. And so there was maybe like 3 feet between the ropes and the stage. And so I'm standing there and watching, and Prince gets on his guitar, and I can't remember what he was playing, but he was doing the solo, and he walked over and he sat down on the stage directly in front of me.
Todd, this is for you.
I barely had it. I had arm's length on either side where there was no one there. So it was just me. He was sitting down right in front of me. And I'm like, okay, this is just awesome.
It's all been worth it now. It's all made total sense right to this point.
And then there was
cool. How long ago was that?
Oh gosh, that was
college days or long after that?
Oh, that was after. That was probably I want to say like late 90s.
Okay.
Mid to late 90s, somewhere in there.
That wasn't that long after college compared to now. Same decade. That's like, yeah, that's right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then there was another time where I went and they had his band and Larry Graham playing, and they were just starting up, and they're playing this basically like a jam. I think it actually was called the Jam. And they started up and they blew a circuit.
Oh.
And so they had to stop, and then they thought they had things fixed, and so they started playing again. They blew the circuit again. And then it took even longer next time for anything to happen. And I think they had given up by that point. And then they just had some music playing and some dancer up on the stage. And I was about like halfway back in the room, I guess. And so I'm just kind of standing there, and I'm like, trying to figure out, okay, is this what they're resorting to then? They're not going to have a band play. And I'm just standing there watching, and I look over to my left, and Prince is standing right next to me and watching the person dance as well. I'm just like, holy crap. And at that point, I realized that there was like a big open circle around where I was standing by that point too.
He was expecting you to dance. Can you do that?
I just kind of froze because I was gonna say, like, who is that or whatever, and nothing would come out.
Oh, you were gonna ask just anonymous person next to you who that was, and then but it turned out it wasn't anonymous.
I still don't know who the dancer was, so I probably should have asked him, but but yeah, he kind of stood next to me for a while, and then eventually he made his way up towards the stage himself. But I'm just like, wow. But at least I came with some other coworkers from IBM, so I can verify that this happened.
Your witnesses. Yeah, it wasn't an impersonator or something.
Yeah, it was witnesses. Oh gosh. But yeah, I had run into like a few of the band members on some of those times going to those Paisley Park concerts. Like one time I'm walking down one of the hallways there, and it was the keyboard player, and he was walking towards me, but he was reading, he must have been reading like sheets of music that he was going to be playing that night yet, because it was before all the concert part really started. Mm-hmm. And so he's looking at that, and I'm like, he's getting closer and he's not looking where he's going. So he got like maybe a yard away, and I'm like, excuse me. He's like, oh, instead of running into me.
Look out. And you see like a cartoon thing where he hits you and the sheets go flying, and then they're all in the wrong order.
Oh, if I was really a jerk, I should have gone like, boom. Oh, look at all that.
grab a whatever.
Start grabbing the sheets and run.
Yeah, it's a draft, unpublished draft.
So
did you ever read Ready Player 2 for the Prince chapter?
No, I haven't. That's something I got to do at some point.
Yep.
Okay.
I was surprised how much I knew about that. I'm like, oh no, you don't know. What's going on? Oh, okay. So I thank you for that. That chapter was an easy read for me. I mean, all of it. I mean, it's all nostalgic 80s stuff, or 80s and 90s stuff. But that chapter, among the others, was like, oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah. Okay, if you could go back in your own timeline and change something, what would you change?
Oh my God. What kind of a question is that?
I know, I'm thinking to myself now, geez, how did I come up with this stuff?
I don't know. That would be a personal thing. I'm not gonna no, unquotable. Pass.
I suppose we can give each other like 1 or 2 passes on these.
I don't have to talk. There's no.
I know what mine would be.
Okay.
I would go back to the day that I stuck all of my Star Wars toys in the garage sale and keep myself from selling them.
Fool! You could be a millionaire.
I mean,
no, see, because then you would have to have kept all the boxes.
Like, no even good. Without the boxes, I mean,
and it's no good play. That's what actually, believe it or not, my aunt actually bought, and I didn't know till years and years later. My aunt actually bought most of the Star Wars stuff I put on a garage sale after I paid with it. But I mean, it was hashed. There's nothing salvageable after I'd done it. But they were loved. They had their time and they were loved.
Yeah. But yeah, if I could actually
be the Toy Story villain, Toy Story 3 villain. Was it 3 or 2? 2. Don't be Big Al from Big Al's Toy Barn.
Yeah, there you go.
Putting toys in boxes to ship off to Japan.
But I have this figured out. If I could actually go back in time, I would go back to that day and actually buy all the stuff from myself.
Oh, so that's smart. You get the money then.
Exactly. My past self would still get the money
too
to start my G.I. Joe collection.
Yeah, because you can't. I mean, that would have totally negated it. I see where you're going with that. That was good. I remember I probably have said this before too on here. The one thing I like. So my grandma was the one that got me the AT-AT, and that was right when Empire came out. My grandma got me the Millennium Falcon, and I don't think she had any idea, but she got me Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, not just a TIE Fighter. So when the X-Wing guys would be by and the TIE Fighter guys would be by, I got to be the boss. Who's got Darth Vader's? You have a TIE Fighter. I have Darth Vader's. I'm leading. That was kind of a cool, like, automatic bid.
In our house, Darth Vader had to stay on the Death Star.
You fool!
He wouldn't fit in a normal TIE Fighter, like he's too tall.
That's why they made it.
Smush him in there. No,
the doors won't close.
Let's see. Okay. We'll make this the last one. If there were a movie made about you, who would play the role of yourself?
Peter Mayhew. I'm not that tall. I could be a Wookiee. I'm not Chewbacca height, but I could be some Wookiee. I don't know. I've never met someone like me, so I don't know. Who would play me? Do you know?
Well, I'm thinking...
Who would I want to play me, or who do I think could play me or should play me? I don't know.
I just said who would play the role of yourself.
Oh.
So...
Jared Leto, because he can play anything.
Except the Joker.
Hey, he's got a glorified cameo. Give him a full movie to develop it. I didn't mind his Joker.
Compared
he's
to
different, but
Jokers.
I can handle. No, not the best Joker. I mean, Heath Ledger freaking died to be Joker, so okay, so give it to him. But he was pretty good. He was, I have to say, I mean, that was actually a scary Batman movie, and I can't say there's anything else. I mean, there's villains of Batman, and certainly the original ones. Danny DeVito as a Penguin was kind of. It was not quite 1960s, kind of campy, a little
right.
Disgusting but funny.
Yeah.
But Heath Ledger's Joker's like, I think he's winning.
Yeah.
When they had the guy in the lockup in the police cell and the cell phone goes off in his stomach, I'm like,
oh yeah.
He is crazy and he's winning. I mean, that I respect that. Respect to that. But again, I think I've seen some of Jared Leto's other roles. He could play anything. So I don't know if he can play this tall.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer for myself.
Ryan Reynolds as Todd.
Huh. Yeah, maybe see that. I don't know. I guess with younger actors, I really don't know as many.
Feeling old? Are your bones creaking yet?
I mean,
that Tom Cruise, he's a nice young man.
Oh God. Well, one of the first times that I went to like a family gathering thing on Rachel's end of the family, it was like a great uncle, and he thought I looked totally like Henry Winkler. Oh. I mean, at the time, probably because I had the hair. I probably was wearing my leather jacket too. Now that I think about it, so it's like, oh, it's the Fonz.
Okay.
But I mean, now he's.
So I mean, hey, this imagination. I mean, is it less likely that you could just say? I mean, we had a time travel question already. You could go back in time and have a young Henry Winkler play you.
Okay, yeah.
This is what life is going to be like, Henry, in 70 years from now. Just do it now. Just imagine that the television is fits in your hand and you can talk to it and go. Because he has quite a range too.
Yes. I guess we'll go with that for my answer.
That's admirable. Or Dave, right. The aforementioned David Tennant, he has a good range.
I don't know if I could see that. Maybe other people can.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
I should have said, really.
I should have said Tom Baker. I don't know. He would do an interpretation. I wouldn't expect Tom Baker to replicate what I have. I would very much enjoy his interpretation.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I did have some other questions, but we're kind of running a little long here, so we'll get to the next part. So instead of calling it fan film of the month, since it's been like months,
fan film of the year. Woo.
I'm just saying fan film recommendation. And actually, this isn't really a fan film, so to speak. But you can see this person's work on YouTube. And just to give you a little background here, we've got Yammer at Mayo, which if people don't know, it's kind of like a company-wide type of Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And there is a like a movie discussion group on there, which I'm
clearly work related.
Oh yeah, I mean there's like a dog owners group, a motorcycling group, a lot of stuff a gaming group. But yeah, someone brought up the stuff that they had been seeing on YouTube. And it's this person that she has never really seen a lot of movies during her lifetime. And I think she was born in like 94. So she's seeing all these movies for the first time. And then
reaction videos. I see a lot of music reaction videos. I'm like, really? You don't know that? Like, what rock have you been
under? Let's see well, of course, people aren't going to see this, so I'll only have to talk about it. But I can show you anyways.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We're doing no video. That's right.
So yeah, this is Ashley Burton, or as she goes by sometimes, Awkward Ashley. But yeah, she's got like a ton of stuff, and she started, of course, like during the pandemic, and she started with Star Wars movies and
Hocus Pocus made it in there already. How many does she have? Back to the Future, classic. Okay, Jaws, sure. Monty Python, sure. Indy, you gotta watch Indy.
Indiana Jones, some of the Mel Brooks stuff.
Go back to Psycho, Beetlejuice.
Yep. She does seasonal things, so yeah, she gets into some Halloween themed movies.
Okay, that's probably why Hocus Pocus then. Okay.
She gets into Christmas ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then most of the time it's Mondays that she does these reviews, but I mean, she got so popular that she ended up getting a Patreon stuff going on. So it's like the highest Patreon people get their suggestions, and she does those like on Fridays and stuff.
Okay.
So. But
Batman 1989, see that?
Yeah.
Never Ending Story. We haven't quite got Alex. We did watch we had some friends over who were big fans of Labyrinth with David Bowie, and so Alex watched that, and we were still at the point. Julie's not ready for him to see Star Wars. He still doesn't like bad guys. He doesn't mind reading about them. He's read the first 2 Harry Potters, and we're like, gosh, that's gonna be. And I said, well, isn't Voldemort scary? And he's like, oh, not in my head. He just imagines a cuddlier Voldemort. He doesn't quite think of him that way yet. So okay, but yeah, there's so many Labyrinth, Never Ending Stories, so many things to get him to start to see that I will enjoy. Maybe I get to see this in real life. Maybe I'll see his first viewing of all these things.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll blow a lot of time on that.
You see some of these running times, and that's like just under 30 minutes. So she doesn't record. Well, she records everything, but then edits it down to only the pieces that she reacts to. Yeah. And some of the stuff that she reacts to is just hilarious. Because, like, okay, she's watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and you see the aliens, come down at the end and kind of presenting themselves. And there's the one alien that kind of stretches out his arms like this. And her comment was, pretending she was talking for the alien. She's like, "Sup, bitches?" And I had my headphones on watching this in bed, and all of a sudden I'm playing. I'm just like,
that's a rule. If you ever fly to Europe, you cannot watch comedies on the overnight leg because you break out laughing and you suddenly have 6 enemies. So dramas, even horror movies, is like, if you jump on the plane, that's just a little turbulence, but something that makes you laugh out loud, no.
I want to watch Twilight Zone the movie when I'm on a plane.
As long as there's not a thunderstorm going on. I see she's done.
My question for her would be, like, if she ever did go to a movie theater, would she be able to keep herself from talking during the film?
Yeah, look at all this normalizing of the habit. Maybe that's how the idea started, is like she got kicked out too often. We don't even want to go to a movie with you. You can't shut up.
It sounds like her family just didn't go to movies. That
happens.
They'd watch stuff on TV, and even then she wouldn't watch a lot of TV. So she had a life.
Yeah, but not anymore. All that. So you're saying all that work that her parents did to raise her in a way that they believed was away from this consumerist heathen influence, she's now completely undone in order to get money.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I gotta give her props. It's been a journey, and I'm still trying to catch up because I only started watching them.
UHF.
I only started watching these like I think it was like late spring, early summer, somewhere in there. So every once in a while, I'd like binge watch a few of them. And
now she watched.
I'm not watching all of them either.
So I see Mad Max Fury Road. Did she do the other Mad Maxes first, or it's just Hunt and Peck?
Yeah, usually there's kind of a progression, but I think for that one, no.
You know what? I don't see a lot of rom-coms here.
No, there's not a lot.
No reaction. Not even When Harry Met Sally, something like that.
You wait, that one was in there.
Was it? Okay. Casablanca's there.
There is Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
Woman, Romancing the Stone, Ghost.
That must have been
around. That must have been around like Valentine's Day or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. It's a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
People don't want to see her for 30 minutes go, oh. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I could have sworn there was When Harry Met Sally in here somewhere, but yeah.
It has 52 views.
It was right next to Groundhog Day.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Good, respectable amount of views. Groundhog Day is pretty good.
Yeah.
Aliens. I tell you, I love Aliens. Even when we were kids, I was probably 12 and my brother was 7, and we would watch Aliens. Was one at my grandpa's house. They had like 6 VHS tapes. They had a tape of Foghorn Leghorn's best hits, a couple, and they had Aliens, and we as kids would watch. I mean, I don't know how many times I watched that. Love that movie. And I mean, I've seen all of them, but the first one is just clearly horror, and you're stalking everything. That just has enough action, enough comedy in it that it like mellows it out.
Yeah, the first time I saw Aliens was during basic electricity class in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like end of the year thing, and
yeah,
Mr. Iris is just like, we're gonna watch a movie that's totally unrelated to the class.
They use electricity in there, I'm sure. They try and get the power going.
So yeah, that was my first experience with Aliens, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, so I'll post a link on the page, the YouTube page, and whatever else wherever I post it, so people can go and check that out. Otherwise, let's see. I've got.
Don't show them your passcode.
Well, they can't see it because we're only going to.
All right.
We're not doing video, remember?
But it's XYZ123. That's crazy. 1.
Don't tell.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kenner Star Wars commercial. Since we were talking about,
what is that? Is there another one? A new one? Remastered.
Yeah, I've got like crappy versions of all these, so I started going to YouTube to find better copies of them. But since we're not going to see the video for this one, you'll just have to listen to it anyway. So. Yoda, AT-AT driver. 41 action figures from Kenner Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection, each sold separately. You can print this new. Had to wear a sweater to play with them. I had the AT-AT driver because I had an AT-AT. It worked out really well. I mailed away for that stuff.
I did get a mail. You talk about Star Wars toys I want to go back to. I should have bought or never unboxed my mail order Boba Fett.
Oh,
I had one.
Yep,
He's well played with.
Me too. It was not the rocket launching one, of course.
No. I think I had a rocket launching Cylon Raider.
Oh.
Before, because that was right at the same time where that was a no-no, and then they just had them so they sprung out.
I'm trying to think. I know Ryan had some stuff. I know he had a Cylon, but I don't think he had a Raider. That would have been neat if we did have one. But something else that I came across just a couple of weeks ago, well, maybe it's a little bit longer than that. At least a month, within a month. This one of these toy places posted some pictures of the old Fisher Price adventure people.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, I had some of that stuff. And as I'm looking through, it's like, oh yeah, I had the helicopter with the two pilots. And I mean, they were basically the same size as, the Star Wars toys. They were all the same, ratio and stuff. So I'd use the two helicopter pilots as like extra X-wing pilots or snow
they don't get
speeder pilots.
their background. They don't get the hero detail.
And there was a deep sea fishing boat with a some sort of a motorized thing that they could attach to, and the bottom of it was glass, so they could see what was beneath them and stuff like that, and swim around in that under the water. And that got some bathtub use. I think there was a dolphin that was with that too. But yeah, some of that stuff, it was like it actually was really neat for the time. And I'm like, why didn't I get more of these? And well, of course,
Star Wars didn't have a cartoon that went with them.
No, Star Wars came along, and then it was like, nope, I must have Star Wars. Forget the Fisher Price stuff.
Jawas. Why don't I have any Jawas?
Yeah. Jawas, Stormtroopers, Tusken Raiders. You can never have enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let's see the next thing on my list. Flaming Death Stockroom. So people should go here and buy stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm just being blunt here. Yeah, we've got our
figures in action.
Flaming Death Productions t-shirts. There's Figures in Actions t-shirts. And of course I'll post a link to this stuff too. But you go and check out some of these, and you do have, as soon as it loads here, no, I'm not seeing it.
150 reviews. That's respectable.
Really? 150 reviews? That must be on just the shirt itself and not actually my design. But there was, shoot. You should be able to, oh, there it is, where it says 16 colors. So you can change the color of the shirt. And then the flame kind of disappears if you choose red, but let's go with like purple. Doesn't that look cool? That looks awesome. So let me look at one of the other shirts here. I mean, there's more than shirts though. But I'm playing around with the shirts right now. Looking at the Figures in Action t-shirt right now. Let's go with a green. Yeah, reminds me of John Deere tractors, but oh, that looks kind of neat.
What is it? Is it blue that the letters are outlined in or something? It doesn't look like just straight orange. It looks like they're outlined in something.
Yeah, they're outlined in blue. So at least the Figures in Action logo is. Let's see. Let's go to see what else we can find. Shop all products.
Stickers. I see categories on the side. Stickers, home and living. Do you have a lamp?
Different kinds of t-shirts. You can
Oh,
get
mask. There you go.
mug, masks. You can
Oh,
get
mask. There you
a
go.
mug, masks. I don't have my mask with me right now. It's in the truck, but I've got one of these myself. I've got one of these myself too. So you got the masks that they say don't work as well, but then you've got the fitted 3-layer. So I should almost take off the other masks. Maybe for kids it might be okay, but for adults they should get the fitted 3-layer.
I know it says flaming death on it. It's like, well, be safe. Be safe when you're flaming.
And I have thought of, well, maybe I should just design one where it's got the flame like in the corner right there and just be a solid color, because I know a lot of other people do that with their mask designs. But
I want to see the home and decor.
Oh, let's see here.
Oh, there it is on top. Home and living. There it is on the top.
Oh, well, since this is going off of Redbubble,
yeah,
if I click on that, it won't necessarily be stuff that I designed. So,
what? Even funny. I want to see the flaming dust shower curtain.
I want to say
ironic.
For figures
I'm covered in water, but it's going to be flaming death.
You can get glossy stickers, transparent stickers. You can get baby shirts, a pin, a magnet.
Oh, you could have had that for pin day. Could you imagine with this level of creativity, like you just do all this just to make yourself a pin so you could wear it in Spirit Week the one day? For $3, why not?
I could have sworn I had a pillow design too.
That was in Home and Living. I didn't call it out, but I saw a pillow.
Well, when I click on shop all products, it should be listed there with the rest of the stuff. But okay, let's go back to the white on black. Maybe they discontinued the pillows.
Well, no, it was listed. They had pillows listed as a category. Yeah, there are only 20 of the. I do see that the product variety has changed, because the other one had 24 and this only has 20.
Oh, they've got
floor pillows. There's throw pillows on the bottom.
See, like those are other people's designs. So
sexy mushrooms, really.
Oh God. Oh. Okay. The one with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Is awesome.
It's appropriate for a couch pillow, or precisely inappropriate for a couch pillow.
You know, I wonder how they got around the using a celebrity figure for that.
Why do you think they need to?
Because I took, maybe that was my pillow design that I tried to do. I tried to do the Connect More
box
front, and they flagged it and would not let me do it.
See, but Chappelle says, I don't get no money from Chappelle's show, so go ahead. Like, there you go. That would be the ultimate thing. Please use my likeness, at least as far as it was 10 years or more ago. Go ahead and use it because it's for other people, but I give you permission. It's too complicated. It's all stuck. He's the Mighty Orbots of
oh my gosh.
2000s.
Saint Jeff of Goldblum. So yeah, you can look at other people's stuff, but
okay,
you can look at it, but buy from Flaming Dust Stockroom.
Oh, so you still get a commission? I don't see Flaming Dust Stockroom here anymore. 112,000 results. Maybe because you went off the top. That's what happens when you go off the top level.
If you do search designs and products and just type in Flaming Dust Stockroom, you should come to at least some of the products, and then you can click on Flaming Death and I'll bring you right to the main Stockroom page.
I like, you're from Pine Island, United States. I won't tell you, we have a Pine Island down here. It's a new big development with houses from the 200s to millions. And Julian laughs that it's not 200,000 to million, it's millions. So
I know there's the Pine Island down in Florida too. But
yeah, we've been there. We have a picture there.
Yeah.
So see, it's like kind of secret. Pine Island, United States, you don't know which. You cannot hit all of them with just one nuke, so I probably will survive.
So yeah, I'll put the link in the show notes for Flaming Death Stockroom as well.
I don't see any DVDs, or you don't get to sell your own stuff, or they won't do digital. You're all digital.
You only get a certain selection you can kind of do your logos and stuff on. So you can't just throw anything out there and try to
do
sell
an external link or something.
No, it's kind of like using like Vistaprint, Vistaprint, except you don't have to, order stuff for yourself and then sell it that way. This way, you're kind of eliminating that. People can order from here, and instead of going to me, it goes directly to you. So it saves on having to deal with inventory, which is kind of nice that way. So, all right. Parting thoughts. Well, I guess I would say I probably shouldn't wait like 5 months next time, or 6 months, whatever it was. Actually,
it wasn't. It hasn't been such a delay because it took so long to get ideas.
It was like 6.5 months. That's over half a year. Oh my gosh. Well, I
when you get older, time flies.
I can say not all of that was on me though, because these last 2 times it's been, Wes hasn't been able to make it, Travis hasn't been able to make it. You were able to make it, so
I just forgot, and then it was bingo night, and then not.
Oh boy. Which one was it? It was the Legion in Fairmont that had bingo on Friday nights.
That was always
VFW had bingo on Saturday nights.
Yeah, at the fair. You gonna play the old corn game, or are you gonna go with the sliders? That was a tough choice as a kid. Which do you do?
Oh boy.
What happens if the corn spills? I don't know. You have extra responsibility. I don't want to handle that.
Stop the share. So, and actually I should mention, hopefully I get this like edited down and stuff in time, so people get some forewarning, but most people should see all the stuff that I post anyways, because I've been talking about this for months now. But not this weekend, but next weekend. So you're looking at the 22nd and beyond there. Nerdonaut Con 3 in Rochester. So there's going to be a few of the VOSCU people there, like Jason Muse, Ming Chen, I'm just drawing a blank now.
Those guys.
Yeah, there's a few of them there. There's also going to be
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, they're not that rich yet. There's people from like Power Rangers. There's some wrestlers there. There's Marcus Sherrills, who Brian would know because he was on the Vikings. And I believe he's living in Rochester now, so it's a short drive for him. They don't have to pay for his hotel then. So Yeah, that's like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next weekend. So if people haven't gotten their tickets yet, you can get them from the Nerd and Out store, either in Inver Grove Heights or Rochester. They
You
have
mean
met.
brick and mortar store? I'm thinking, oh, it's our website. No, you mean go someplace in a
Yeah.
vehicle.
Yeah.
Do they require physical cash too?
Well, you can order them online, but then you're dealing with like Ticketmaster, and then you got associated charges, which no one likes paying those Ticketmaster fees. You can go straight to the Mayo Civic Center because that's where they're having this convention this time. So they're upgraded. They were in the Graham Arena, which is in the fairgrounds of Rochester, and yeah, they kind of went all out and got the Mayo Civic Center this time. So it's like, hey, all right.
Probably have some openings. It's probably a decent bargain too. Good time for risk taking.
Yeah. But there's been a few times where they've said on their Facebook page, they're like, oh, we've sold out of Saturday tickets. But then you find out that only Rochester store sold out of their tickets.
We sold out of our Saturday
still has some, and you can still get them through Ticketmaster and Civic Center and stuff. And then the two stores will like swap back and forth and kind of even things out. So
the guy in charge of the thing comes down and whaps him with a newspaper on the head. Shut up.
Well, it's the owner that's telling us this stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, don't tell us there aren't any. Tell them you have a shortage right now, but you'll get some soon.
Yeah. Wait for the next release of tickets.
Yeah.
Do it really professionally. Well, have fun with that.
Yeah, should be. Corey and I got 3-day passes, so we're going to all 3 days, and should be some good times. So. Other than that, what do you got going on other than painting?
Yeah, we're watching. No, now the painting is done, so we're watching paint dry.
There you go.
There is an air show. I mean, we're still we have a 6-year-old, so we are not congregating in public. And none of my brothers are vaccinated. So mom at this point, and probably already is said we're not coming up for Christmas, or she's not having Christmas. We'll see what Christmas is. There's a nice concert venue too, but we're not. We may go to a matinee. Actually, here, where is it? We can. It'll be a video joke, so no one will get it as we come through. Now, this is old hat for you, right? But as the official, was I the second youngest in the class? Youngest in the class, second youngest in the class, something like that. It's new to me.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's the people used to be here. Where is that thing? Oh, here it is. I formally got my invitation to AARP.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't hesitate about to get travel discounts, because it's not that expensive. It's like $16, but people don't like that. They also then advocate for no changes to Social Security, even if it's going to go away in 10 years, before you or I will have it, or things like that. People don't like, but I'm like, other than that, it's like, I saved that much on a hotel one time.
Yeah.
You can see it's still sealed though. I'll lead them on. What's your better offer? You got a better offer than that? $16, you say? How about 12?
They're right on there. Do not open until age 60. Well, I'm just looking forward to like 5 years from now when I start getting the meal discounts at 55.
I did, when I went to pick up our minivan, it was in Lima, Ohio, which is the home of Kewpie Burger, which, if you know your fast food history, was not only was the inspiration or spawned several other small burger chains, notably Halo Burger in Michigan, which is excellent, but also Wendy's.
Oh.
And I went in there, and the car was supposed to be ready, and it was going to be ready, but the air conditioning only worked at maximum. It was maximum or off for an all digital thing. There's no controls, no nothing. So they were working on it. So I ended up having lunch at 2, and I walked into the QP Burger at 2 and said what I wanted, and they automatically gave me the discount. Hey, I know I got some grays here, but hey, I show my card.
You walk in hunched with a cane.
I did not take offense. I looked around, and yes, I'm sure everyone else there. I think there was one guy who looked like some kind of a skilled tradesman or something that was there that just stopped by. But most of the people in the restaurant probably all qualified for that, so that's probably why it was the default. It probably wasn't personal.
Oh boy. Well, that hasn't happened to me yet, so I might have talked about this on one of the past Flamecasts, but I mean, this was a number of years ago, and Shelby and Savannah went with Corey and myself to the Chinese buffet restaurant in Rochester. And I go and, get my food, and I come back, and Corey's talking to both the girls, and he's like, yeah, your dad colors his hair. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I do not.
Must.
Like, just because you're going gray doesn't mean
That's what I got like Reed Richards going on. I thought that'd be kind of a thing if we were doing, if you go back to Marvel, if we were doing Marvel cosplay, I probably could do a pretty easy Mr. Fantastic.
Well, I was thinking maybe
Dr. stretched out.
Doctor Strange has the.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange worked that.
Yeah.
No problems with that either.
Yeah. I just don't have enough up here. I'm losing.
If I was coloring, wouldn't I do something about this?
Yeah. Yeah, mine just decides to jump ship before it changes color.
Death first. That was probably too loud. Oh well.
All right. Well, we should call that a Flamecast for this time. We'll see what the next one is, but
perhaps in 2021. You don't know.
We don't know. Could be. Maybe not. We'll find out. Stay tuned. In the meantime, I am Todd Pletz.
And I'm Matt Spielman.
And that is a wrap.